day number 8. You guys, this is the last day of the second rotation. Only one more rotation, and then the series is gone. So I hope you guys are enjoying it while it's here. I know I sure am. We're going to announce yesterday's giveaway winner, launch a new giveaway today. We're going to give a really interesting history lesson. This one's a little bit different today, but I had a lot of fun making this one and researching for it. And we're going to talk about a company. That company would be Royal Beardsmen. Up over here, you guys, D&C is going to be your forever code for 10% off. Just hit my beard there, beard check. Okay, doing good. 10% off. And today I would like to invite you to comment down in the chat. What is your favorite Royal Beardsman scent that you have ever tried? And if you have not tried Royal Beardsmen, look through the list. Just take that extra step for me. Look through the list of their scents and which one stands out to you the most as being a winner, something that you would love. Now, the one that is my favorite is seasonal, and that is Leisure, which is a mint chocolate, really beautiful kind of, I call it like a soul scent, right? It's just good for your soul. It's actually up in the bathroom right now, and I didn't bring it down, so I can't show you guys. But that one is a collaboration with me, and it comes out, I believe, just in the winter time every year. I also love the Elixir. There's a really nice blueberry in here, and the one that all of you should really mark down, one of Sam C's favorite scents of all time. Still to this day, she will request it. Still to this day, we put it in diffusers and get the oil smell around the house. That would be King's Lagoon. Sam describes it as like a fancy resort or like a Disney resort when you walk into the lobby and they're just pumping in that, like, I don't know, sophisticated smell that just makes you feel like, okay, we're here. It's time to go. It's time to vacation and enjoy this really nice place. That is King's Lagoon. I really enjoy it. Sam loves it way more than me, so I wear it for her. So that would be my recommendations for scents. Can't wait to hear from you guys down in the chat. What do you love from Royal Beardsmen here, okay? Let's get into this kind of different type of history lesson. I think it's still a history, right? If it's in the past, it's history. Let's get into it. Beard of the day history lesson today is going to be, boom, Keanu Reeves. Now, you already knew that from the title, but you might be asking yourself, why the heck are you covering Keanu Reeves when you've done like presidents and war generals and Vikings and stuff? Trust me, this is a unique human with a fantastic story. He's had some great successes, some great tragedies in his life, and is just so unique. I absolutely loved learning about him. And one of the main reasons I wanted to cover Keanu Reeves, other than connecting with his story, is because I believe he has helped, I don't even believe it's countable, a countless number of patchy and thin beardsmen. He kind of became known for his beard, which is not the most dense, not the most full, but he rocks it. And this dude has had two, not one, but two of the most iconic roles in movie history, when we're, of course, talking about The Matrix and John Wick. That is a resume right there on top of everything else that he's done that would make him eligible for some history lesson like this. But let's break it down. Keanu was born in Lebanon and had a very different kind of childhood and upbringing. He had his father leave at the age of 3, his entire family, but it was probably for the best because in the near future after that, he actually got really heavily involved with hardcore drugs, caught some charges, and went to prison for double-digit years for heroin and cocaine charges. So that probably was for the best. Still to this day, he does not talk to his father. After that, his mom bounced around from relationship to relationship and home to home. Some of the key stops along the way from Lebanon were things like Australia, New York City, and then finally settling in Toronto, where most of his formative years took place. Now, even that was rocky. Keanu went to 4 different high schools in 4 years and did not graduate, including a pit stop at getting expelled from one of those high schools because he would run his mouth. He said that he just was not academically interested. He didn't vibe with the schools and his learning. He didn't vibe with the new students, right? You know, moving from school to school can kind of open you up to that. But he did love hockey. He was very passionate about hockey. He wanted to play for the Canadian national team. He wanted to be a professional hockey player. Well, around the age of 15, 16, he kind of figured out that that was not going to be in the cards, and he decided he wanted to go for acting. Now, his mom was a costume designer and worked with all sorts of people in the industry. One of the most interesting ones fans that was on a regular basis at their home in Toronto was Alice Cooper. Now, there also were movie directors and actors and actresses and all sorts of people that influenced his life along the way, but that was pretty cool. So he's living in Toronto. He starts to get into some acting gigs. He really kicks off his career with a bunch of different commercials and uses those as his resume to get some bigger gigs along the way. And one of those stops, he falls in love with the movie director's assistant. I know it kind of sounds like a movie. They fall in love. She actually gets pregnant. And then the first major tragedy, I guess his dad would be one as well, but the real major tragedy for him personally is that about 8 months of pregnancy, their baby was stillborn and they lost his daughter. This changed his demeanor, his outlook, really his life forever. The couple ended up breaking up a couple of weeks later. They could not kind of get past that. Well, they actually get back together some time later, and they go on a few dates. They go on one specific date is on at a brunch, and all of a sudden the next day, Keanu hasn't heard from his new reunited girlfriend. So he reaches out to people, reaches out to the police because he's kind of worried. Well, another tragedy. Turns out that she drove her car into 3 parked cars, did not have her seatbelt on, was ejected from the vehicle, and died on the spot. Lost his daughter. Dad went away. His girlfriend they got back together. They're getting through that grief. You can imagine how hard that is. And then she dies tragically. My goodness. Unfortunately, his tragedies are not done, and that's not really even just the end or start of it. Other tragedies would include his best friend in the industry, River Phoenix, Joaquin Phoenix's brother. He became super close with. They worked on a couple of sets together, and he said that was, at the time, his friend for life. Oh man, a short life. As a lot of you probably know, River Phoenix had a drug problem and ended up dying from those drugs, passed out, and then dead on the spot as well. Just absolutely tragic. And then to add on to that, his sister gets diagnosed with leukemia. That's kind of a segue into the other side of Keanu Reeves, is that he was known as an extremely charitable, giving, and kind person. The number one cause that he gave to was leukemia research to help with his sister and everybody that has been affected with it. He saw what that nasty, nasty thing can do to people, and he's dumped reportedly hundreds of millions of dollars into charities just like that. And even just beyond charities, he was known to give up his paychecks or portions of his paychecks to help out other people involved with the movies and the things that they were doing. For example, he would read a script and say, oh man, this big name actor would be perfect for this. And they would say, we can't afford it. There's no way we can get somebody like Al Pacino. And he goes on to say many different times, by the way, not just once for a story. This happened on 3 to 5 different occasions that I read about. He said, I will give up my salary to bring in that actor. I would love that. I think it makes this movie better. They're like, for real? He's like, yep, just let me know what I have to do. And they're like, done. And so they did that on several occasions. And then my favorite one, which is similar, but I think even better, is The Matrix, right? Legendary, huge payday for him, and payday into the future with royalties. He negotiated a percentage of his contract, of his earnings, to go to the special effects department and the makeup department. He wanted to help out the people that he thought made this movie one of the most special movies of all time. That's cool. How many people get those contracts and then think, hey, they're not getting enough, I'd like to bring them in, and then split it up amongst other people, and then on top of that, giving out his charities in a major way? Man, this guy was giving. He was shy, very reserved later in his life. He was extremely humble, and kind of the last story that I'll leave you with that for me is like the lasting impression that sums him up. And I'd seen these images kind of all over social media, and it was really one of the inspirations behind this video. Not living that flashy life, being extremely humble. Keanu is really well known for taking public transportation, whether it's the subway or trains. And you see these pictures online because he is frequently known when women, children, and elderly get on and he's sitting down, he always stands up and gives them his spot. That is a celebrity, not with this huge security posse around him, not moving people out of the way and being rude and seeing all these TMZ highlights. He quietly gets up, lets an old lady sit down, and then just goes about his subway car ride and goes about his life. That is amazing. That is an inspiration and kind of like a gut check for anybody out there that's thinking they're bigger than this or that. amazing person. And Keanu had to battle many years, and probably more than just years, of being made fun of, almost being like a joke. But wow, when you think about his resume, you think about the tragedies in his life, you think about the way that he carries himself, for me, an absolute bearded legend. Let's not waste any time here and cut right to it. Yesterday's giveaway winner from Whiskey and Hardtack, boom, right over there. Today we are doing a $50 value giveaway from Royal Beardsmen. Number 1, be subscribed. Number 2, comment down below. Number 3, enter that Gleam link. Thank you guys. This one was a little bit different. I'm interested to hear your thoughts down in the comments about Keanu and his life. I think that you guys are going to really enjoy that, and maybe you knew it already. Thank you guys for watching. Dan C. Bearded, stay bearded and stay positive.